Something strange is happening in Golden State, and it's getting harder to ignore. Kevon Looney, a name that's been synonymous with the Warriors' success over the past decade, has finally broken his silence. And let's just say he did not hold back. In a brand new interview that's already stirring up Dub Nation, Looney opened up about his frustrations with how things played out during the playoffs, and his words gave fans and analysts alike plenty to chew on. We're talking about a three-time champion here, a guy who's bled blue and gold since day one, now publicly questioning the very system that made him a household name. So what happened? Well, let's rewind a little. Looney made an appearance on the Plus Minus podcast with Marcus Thompson, and right out of the gate, he made it clear he's not thrilled with how he was used during the postseason. He straight up said, "Quit and post my guy, but it's anyone but me." That line alone tells you everything you need to know about how he feels. Looney wasn't just sidelined, he felt flat out rejected. He even pointed to moments in the playoffs where he believed he could have made an impact, especially in that series against Houston, where the Warriors were physically dominated on the glass. According to Looney, this wasn't a sudden shift. It was a pattern that had been building. He went on to say, "They're not giving me the chance to really let me do what I do. It's like, all right, y'all don't trust me. I thought y'all would trust me." That's deep. That's not just a player unhappy with minutes. That's a guy who feels like the franchise he gave everything to stopped believing in him. And honestly, you can't blame him for feeling some type of way. This is someone who's played through injuries, taken pay cuts, and never complained about his role until now. But that's what makes this whole situation even more jarring. For years, Looney was the ultimate team guy, the silent anchor, the workhorse. But as the team started leaning toward newer, stretchier bigs like Quentin Post, who, let's be real, did hit some clutch threes and added a different look on offense, Looney was slowly phased out. We're talking about a guy who was getting DNPs back in December. That's right, DNPs for someone who not that long ago was anchoring your defense in a playoff run. That's not just a demotion, it's a message. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated. Post definitely brought something to the table. The Warriors were lacking. His ability to stretch the floor from the center spot opened up things for Steph Curry and the rest of the offense. He wasn't just a big body. He was a matchup problem, especially when other teams were sending doubles at the perimeter. But Looney's value was never about flash. It was about doing the dirty work, the intangible, setting bone-crushing screens, battling on the boards or switching on defense when nobody else wanted to. And to his credit, even in limited minutes, Looney still had moments where he showed glimpses of that old magic. In Game 7 against Houston, for example, he pulled down 4 rebounds in just 11 minutes. Not earth-shattering, but impactful. And yet he wasn't trusted to do more. Statistically, Looney's numbers don't scream must play anymore. In the regular season, he averaged just over 15 minutes per game, scored around 4.5 points, grabbed 6 boards. He technically shot 40% from deep, but let's not get carried away. He only attempted 5 threes the whole season, making 2. So that number is misleading. The truth is, Looney hasn't been a stretch big. He never was. But what he brought to the table can't be captured just by looking at box scores. And that's part of what's eating at him. You can tell. This isn't just about numbers or minutes. It's about respect, about feeling seen. Looney even acknowledged how he's been dealing with physical decline. At 29, which sounds young for most people, he's already got the body of a veteran. He's battled hip issues since he was a teenager. He's played through pain more times than we know. So yeah, maybe his lateral movement isn't what it used to be. Maybe he's lost half a step, but his basketball IQ, his experience, that doesn't disappear overnight. So when he says he felt like the team gave up on him, you start to understand where that's coming from. And this all comes at a time when the Warriors are already facing big questions about their future. Looney also mentioned that the way the Warriors handled his contract situation didn't sit right with him. Earlier this offseason, he hinted that Golden State either didn't offer him a new deal or at least not one that matched what other teams, like the Pelicans, were putting on the table. That stings, especially for a guy who's been a key part of 3 championship runs. When you give so much to an organization and then they don't even fight to keep you, that hits different. It's not just business at that point, it feels personal. And all of this has fans wondering, could this be part of the reason why the Warriors are struggling to attract top-tier free agents right now? Because make no mistake, the team's offseason so far has been painfully quiet. We're in mid-July and Golden State has yet to reach a contract agreement with a single notable free agent. Not one. Other teams are reloading, retooling, and making moves while the Warriors are still stuck, waiting for the Jonathan Kuminga domino to fall. Until they figure that situation out, they can't even use their taxpayer mid-level exception without risking a hard cap hit. It's a mess. And then there's the Al Horford saga, which, let's be honest, has become a whole episode in itself. The Warriors were reportedly close to signing Horford last week. That didn't happen. Now there are rumors that the Lakers, the Bucks, and even the Hawks might be in the mix. But get this, one of the deciding factors in Horford's future might be his 10-year-old son. Yeah, you heard that right. According to ESPN's Mark J. Spears, Horford's kid is a massive Steph Curry fan. He's been traveling with his dad the last couple of seasons and loves the Warriors. And apparently, Lil Ian Horford might be the one nudging his dad to keep playing and to do it in the Bay. This is where the Warriors' offseason gets borderline surreal. We've reached a point where Dub Nation is quite literally hoping a fourth grader can help convince a 40-year-old center to come play for their team. And it's not like Horford is a long-term fix. He's a veteran, undersized big with declining mobility. But because of how locked up the Warriors' cap sheet is, over $170 million guaranteed to just 9 players, even signing Horford or DeAnthony Melton hinges entirely on what happens with Kuminga. If they use the $5.7 million mid-level exception before resolving Kuminga's situation, they hit the second apron and lose all flexibility. That opens the door for another team to throw Kuminga an offer the Warriors might not be able to match unless they start shedding salary fast. And that's where we are, stuck, waiting, watching other teams make progress while the Warriors hang in limbo. And the fan base is restless, understandably so. Reddit threads are blowing up. One user summed it up perfectly, saying, "We're begging a 40-year-old undersized center to sign with us instead of retire. And it's literally the only thing happening for us this offseason." That's not just frustration, that's despair. The kind of thing you feel when you realize your dynasty might be over and no one wants to say it out loud. And through all this noise, Looney's comments land like a punch to the gut. Because they're not just about playing time, they're about a deeper problem. How the Warriors treat their veterans when they're no longer at their peak. And if Looney, one of the most loyal, selfless guys the franchise has ever had, feels this way, you have to wonder how other players around the league are seeing it. Are top-tier free agents thinking twice about coming to Golden State because of how they've handled guys like Looney? Are they questioning whether the team is really built to support its players through the ups and downs? The Warriors built a culture based on unity, sacrifice, and trust. But if that culture is starting to crack, if players are starting to feel disposable once their production dips, that could be a huge red flag moving forward. Especially now, with the core aging and the team desperately needing reinforcements. It's not just about finding the next big thing, it's about convincing people to believe in what you're building, and right now it's hard to say if anyone outside that locker room actually does. Looney's honesty is refreshing, but it's also a warning, a glimpse into what might be a growing tension beneath the surface. The Warriors are in transition, whether they like it or not. And how they handle players like Looney, players who helped build a foundation, might determine whether this next era is a rebirth or a slow collapse. So now the question becomes, where do the Warriors go from here? The team is in a state of uncertainty that feels completely unfamiliar for a franchise that for the better part of the last decade was synonymous with dominance, stability, and vision. Everything used to feel so calculated, so precise. There was always a plan, always a reason behind every move. But lately, it just feels like they're reacting instead of leading. And that is dangerous for a team whose identity has always been built around being 2 steps ahead. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NBA, rumors are swirling that the Golden State Warriors are on the verge of securing one of the most sensational prospects in recent basketball history, Victor Wembanyama. This development, if true, could reshape the league's competitive landscape and ignite a frenzy among fans and analysts alike. Wembanyama, the towering French sensation, has been widely regarded as a generational talent with a rare combination of size, skill, and agility. Standing over 7 feet tall with an astonishing wingspan and a versatile skill set, he has been a centerpiece of NBA draft conversations for months. Known for his shot-blocking prowess, perimeter shooting, and ball-handling abilities, the young star has been projected to be a franchise-altering player from day one. The Warriors, a team famed for their strategic acquisitions and championship pedigree, have reportedly engaged in intense negotiations to bring Wembanyama to the Bay Area. Sources close to the situation suggest that Golden State is exploring creative avenues to secure his rights, potentially upending their current roster dynamics, in pursuit of a new era of dominance. If the rumor proves true, it would mark a seismic shift for the Warriors, who have been navigating the post-Durant and post-Thompson era with a mix of seasoned veterans and emerging talent. Adding Wembanyama could accelerate their return to the top tier of the league, complementing the sharpshooting of Stephen Curry and the defensive grit of Draymond Green. Speculation is rife about how Wembanyama's unique skill set could mesh with the Warriors' famed ball movement and three-point shooting style. Analysts are debating whether the team will adjust their game plan to maximize the Frenchman's potential or continue with their established blueprint, integrating him seamlessly into their system. On the flip side, questions remain about the financial and roster implications of such a move. The Warriors would likely have to navigate complex salary cap considerations and possibly part ways with key contributors to clear space for Wembanyama's contract. This has sparked a lively debate among fans and experts about the feasibility and wisdom of the rumored acquisition. While Golden State has not officially confirmed any deals, the buzz around Wembanyama's potential arrival is undeniable. Social media platforms and sports talk shows have been abuzz, with some insiders hinting that an announcement could be imminent, while others caution that the negotiations may still be in early stages. What is clear is that the NBA landscape is bracing for a possible game changer. If the Warriors do manage to bring Victor Wembanyama into their fold, the ripple effects will be felt across the league, from team strategies to draft plans and fan expectations. For now, basketball enthusiasts worldwide will be watching closely, eager to see if the Golden State Warriors will pull off what could be the most surprising and impactful acquisition in recent memory. The possibility of Wembanyama donning the Warriors' colors has already injected fresh excitement into the offseason. And if it materializes, it could herald the dawn of a new dynasty in the NBA. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.